Hey everyone, welcome back to Toppy Top History. Today we're doing something a little different. Instead of dark archaeology, we're diving into the wild, weird, and absurd side of Thailand. This is 50 absurd facts about Thailand that will make you laugh, cringe, or just shake your head in disbelief. Let's kick things off. Did you know Thailand has a law against stepping on money? It sounds silly, but it's deadly serious, because the king's face is printed on every coin and bill. Accidentally step on a baht, and technically, you've just disrespected the monarchy. Here's another one. In Bangkok, it's actually illegal to leave the house without underwear. Yep, it's in the books. Imagine the police stopping you just to check your wardrobe choices. And speaking of strange rules, chewing gum on the streets can get you fined. Tourists who spit gum on the ground have been hit with charges of up to $500. Talk about expensive bubble trouble. Thailand also holds the record for the world's largest ever plastic bag protest. At one point, activists carried giant symbolic bags through Bangkok to highlight pollution. It was absurd to watch, but it actually worked. Want something even weirder? There's a festival called the Monkey Buffet. Once a year in Lapri, Thailand, thousands of monkeys are treated to a feast of fruits, cakes, and soda. The animals run wild while tourists snap photos like it's the world's strangest banquet. But not all absurdity is fun. Thailand has fish that can climb trees. The walking catfish is a real species, able to wriggle across land and even climb low roots in search of water. Imagine going for a hike and finding a fish looking back at you. Now here's something spooky. In some Thai villages, people still put food and drinks in miniature spirit houses outside their homes to keep spirits satisfied and away from the family. It's charming until you walk past hundreds of tiny houses filled with offerings at night. Thailand is also obsessed with Guinness World Records, from the longest kiss in history, 58 hours, to the world's biggest water gun fight during Songkran Festival. This country takes absurd to the extreme. And finally, for this block, in Bangkok, you can find a temple that worships Hello Kitty. It's not official Buddhism, of course, but fans built shrines decorated with pink cats and anime offerings. Only in Thailand. That's just the start. And trust me, the deeper we go, the stranger it gets. All right, let's keep going deeper into the absurd. Thailand is home to the world's longest place name. Believe it or not, Bangkok's ceremonial name has 168 letters in Thai. It translates roughly to the City of Angels, the Great City of Immortals, the Magnificent City of the Nine Gems, and it keeps going. No local actually uses it, of course, but it's officially recognized by Guinness. Now, about animals. In Thailand, elephants once had their own military rank. In history, white elephants were considered sacred and were even given honorary titles in the royal court. Imagine saluting an elephant general. And speaking of animals, there's a temple where monks raise tigers. Tourists used to visit to take pictures with them. It was controversial, with rumors that the tigers were sedated, but still, the idea of monks casually raising big cats is as absurd as it sounds. Here's a fun one. Thailand once banned horror movies about ghosts because they were considered too real. Ghost culture is huge here, so big that some politicians argued scary films were disrespectful to spirits. In Bangkok traffic, you'll see something surreal. Motorbike taxis that weave through cars like video game characters. They wear bright vests and will take you anywhere, even if it feels like you're risking your life every second. Another strange law. It's illegal to drive shirtless. Sounds minor, but tourists have actually been fined for cruising around without a top. So yes, if you rent a scooter in Phuket, keep your shirt on. let's not forget about cat cafes. Sure, you've seen them in Japan, but in Thailand, they take it to another level. Some cafes are themed entirely around lucky cats, and people treat them almost like fortune tellers. Here's one for food lovers. In Thailand, you can eat fried insects everywhere. Crickets, grasshoppers, silkworms, sold on the street like popcorn. Locals say they're full of protein, but for tourists, it's usually a dare. And about festivals. Thailand has a vegetarian festival where some participants pierce their cheeks with swords, skewers, even bicycles. Yes, bicycles. It's supposed to bring spiritual cleansing. To outsiders, it looks like a nightmare circus. Finally, let's not forget the obsession with beauty contests. Thailand doesn't just have Miss Thailand, it also has contests for Miss Jumbo Queen, celebrating plus-sized women. The winner is crowned with pride, often while riding an elephant. And that's just 10 more reasons why Thailand might be the most absurdly fascinating place on Earth. Let's keep rolling because Thailand just gets stranger the deeper you look. In Bangkok, you'll see police officers dressed in Hello Kitty armbands as punishment. Sounds fake, right? But it's real. Instead of harsh discipline, bad cops had to wear pink Hello Kitty accessories on duty. Nothing says law enforcement like a cartoon cat. Here's another one. Thailand has fish spas where tiny fish nibble dead skin off your feet. Tourists love it, but locals joke the fish are eating for free and you're paying for it. Absurd, but kind of genius. And then there's the national sport, Muay Thai. Sure, it's famous worldwide, but what's wild is how kids as young as 7 compete in real fights, often for money. Imagine being in 2nd grade and already fighting for a championship belt. Speaking of belts, Thailand once hosted the longest condom chain in the world. Thousands of people linked condoms together, stretching hundreds of meters, all to raise awareness about safe sex. Only in Thailand could health education look like a party. Now, here's a fun twist. Thailand has floating markets where vendors sell goods straight from boats. Picture hundreds of canoes packed with fruits, noodles, even souvenirs, bumping into each other like a watery traffic jam. It's chaotic, colorful, and absurdly beautiful. But not all absurdity is cheerful. In some parts of Thailand, people believe in ghost babies, spirits of unborn children that must be fed offerings or they'll bring bad luck. Shrines with dolls and bottles of milk can still be found in certain places. Creepy, right? On a lighter note, Thailand loves its ladyboy cabarets. These shows are world famous with performers so glamorous that tourists often can't tell who's who. They mix comedy, music, and over-the-top costumes. It's absurd in the best way possible. Here's another strange law. In Thailand, you're not allowed to go topless on the beach. Even men. Yep, sunbathing shirtless can technically get you fined. Imagine trying to explain that one to your buddies back home. Thailand also has a temple built entirely out of beer bottles. Monks collected over 1 million Heineken and Chang bottles to construct the walls, floor, and even the toilets. They call it the Temple of 1 Million Bottles, and yes, it sparkles in the sun. And to wrap this block, every April, Thailand celebrates Songkran, the water festival. What started as a gentle sprinkling of water to bless the new year has turned into the world's biggest water fight. Millions of people drench each other with buckets, hoses, and super soakers. If you ever wanted to see a whole country act like kids again, that's the place. By now, you probably think Thailand can't get any weirder. But trust me, we're just warming up. There's a temple in Bangkok that houses a mummified monk covered in sunglasses. His body has been sitting there for decades, preserved in a glass case. Locals put shades on him to make it less disturbing. Spoiler, it's still disturbing. Next, let's talk about hair. In Thailand, there are schools that actually teach haircutting with fire and swords. Yes, instead of scissors, barbers use flames or giant blades to style hair. Risky? Absolutely. Absurd? Totally. Now for something edible. Thailand is obsessed with durian fruit, known as the world's smelliest food. It smells like rotten onions mixed with gasoline, but locals love it. Hotels and subways even have no durian signs, banning the fruit like it's a weapon. Want something even stranger? In some villages, people still practice rocket festivals, where they launch homemade bamboo rockets into the sky to ask the gods for rain. Sometimes they work, sometimes they explode on the ground in spectacular fails. And how about reptiles? In certain restaurants, you can actually order crocodile meat served roasted on a stick, like it's fast food. Some even pose the whole crocodile on the grill, teeth and all, just for show. Thailand also gave us one of the most bizarre Guinness records, the largest parade of people dressed as Smurfs. Thousands of Thais painted themselves blue and marched through the streets. Why? Honestly, nobody knows. Here's a chilling one. In Bangkok's Siriare Medical Museum, nicknamed the Museum of Death, you can see preserved bodies of serial killers, deformed babies, and jars of human organs. It's open to the public. Imagine bringing a date there. Now let's switch to something playful, elephant polo. Instead of horses, players ride elephants while hitting a giant ball. It's exactly as chaotic as it sounds. And yes, it's an actual sport in Thailand. Another absurd thing, Thai police once ran a campaign where people could trade drugs for Hello Kitty dolls. The idea was to soften rehabilitation, but the image of hardened criminals hugging pink toys was unforgettable. And finally, in Pattaya, there's a festival where people build sand sculptures of Buddha, and then tourists accidentally step on them. Every year, it sparks arguments, laughter, and a little chaos. Thailand isn't just absurd, it's gloriously absurd.
All right, buckle up. Now we enter the wild world of Thai politics. Because sometimes the strangest stories don't come from myths or festivals, but from the people in power. Let's start with the king and his dogs. Yes, you heard that right. King Maha Vajiralongkorn was famous for traveling with dozens of poodles, and his favorite poodle, Fufu, was even given a formal military title as an Air Chief Marshal. Imagine saluting a dog in uniform. Welcome to Thai politics. And it gets even stranger. Thailand has some of the strictest laws in the world against insulting the monarchy. Even making jokes about the king's dog has landed people in prison with punishments of decades behind bars. That's not just absurd, that's terrifying. Corruption scandals are part of the political theater too. One deputy prime minister was caught with a secret collection of luxury watches worth millions, which mysteriously didn't appear on his official asset list. The public nicknamed it the watch scandal. Another big one involved Thailand's airport duty-free monopoly. Billions of dollars were slipping through the cracks, with the state receiving only a fraction of the money it should have. For regular citizens, that meant less money for schools and hospitals, while elites kept getting richer. Then there's the instability. Prime ministers have been removed from office not just for corruption, but even for private phone calls or supposed ethical violations. Imagine losing your job as leader of a country because of a leaked conversation. And when leaders do declare their wealth, it's absurd in itself. One prime minister revealed assets worth hundreds of millions of dollars, including over 200 designer handbags and dozens of luxury watches. Meanwhile, everyday people struggle with rising costs of living. Many Thai politicians don't even like living in Thailand full-time. Rumors and reports say some spend most of their time abroad, even in Germany,
hosting lavish parties instead of facing their own citizens at home. The distance between rulers and the people couldn't be clearer. And it's not just scandals about money. Land intended for poor farmers has ended up in the hands of wealthy and powerful families. It's a pattern. Promises for the people, benefits for the elite. At the root of it, these absurd stories are not mistakes. They are tools. Tools to silence critics, hold on to power, and distract the public. But when politics becomes stranger than comedy, that's when people stop believing in it altogether. Thank you for sticking with me through this wild ride. If you enjoyed these absurd political stories, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Toppy Top History, and share it with your friends. And let me know in the comments which of these absurdities shocked you the most. I'm Top, and I'll see you in the next episode with more unbelievable stories from history.